It is no longer news that Nigeria has been plagued by a wave of insecurity, with particular hotspots in states like Zamfara, Kogi, Benue, Borno, Katsina, and Plateau in recent weeks. Zamfara State, once known for its rich mineral resources, has since become synonymous with banditry and kidnapping. Armed groups terrorize rural and urban communities, raid villages, and abduct defenseless civilians for ransom. The people live in constant fear. Farmers cannot tend to their farms, and livelihoods are negatively impacted. In Kogi, tensions have been heightening with the abduction last Thursday of some students of the state-owned Confluence University of Science and Technology, USARA. This is in addition to the frequent abductions of travelers through the state. No one and nowhere appears to be safe in that state. In Benue, once known as Nigeria's food basket, and Plateau State, known as the home of peace and tourism, perennial herders-farmers conflicts, communal clashes, and reprisal attacks have left a trail of destruction and deaths, exacerbated by scarce resources, ethnic and religious differences, and feared by deep-seated historical grievances. This has led to mass displacements and humanitarian crises as people are forced to flee their homes in search of safety, mostly in poorly resourced makeshift camps. Katsina, Borno, Enugu, Ebonyi, and the Federal Capital Territory have also been active scenes of banditry, terrorism, and kidnapping in recent times, as troops and other security agents have been kept busy battling with criminal and insurgent elements. Now, as part of efforts to address peace and security challenges, governors of 10 states in the northern region recently attended a 3-day security summit in Washington, D.C., organized by the United States Institute of Peace. But critics of that trip have argued that it was a mere waste of time and resources, as the solutions do not lie abroad. So, where can the solutions to Nigeria's security challenges be found? And urgently too, and applied to arrest the current drift away from peace and stability. Is government doing enough? And are citizens themselves ready to build peace? Join us as we seek solutions to Nigeria's insecurity challenges. And I'm joined in the studio by three very eminent gentlemen who will be trying to fashion out what could be the way out of this challenge. First is Mr. Mahmoud Yusuf. He's the Director of Operations and System Consultant of Interpol, NCB, in Abuja. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you
for coming all the way from Kaduna to join us on the program today.
Thank you
so much.
For having me. Thank
Great.
you. Thank you.
Also joining us is Alhaji Abdullahi Sani Shinkafi. Alhaji Shinkafi is the former chairman, prosecution of armed bandits in Zamfara State. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
We're also joined by Rex Banigo. Rex is a tech security enthusiast and specialist. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, we'll be diving into our discussion right after now. Stay with us.
Issues are critical, germane to Nigeria's democratic process.
Politicians can only be seen maybe on television by judges. They should not intermingle, because once you intermingle, then you destroy the systems.
When the personalities are big, important to national discourse.
When you reach certain stage in power and you demonstrate
arrogance to the extreme. There's no other thing that will happen to you other than to fall.
When the developments are seemingly complex, confounding like a 1,000-piece jigsaw, that's when we require bold, sound, and analytical minds to help put the pieces together. Jigsaw with Benga Arileba, now showing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. on AIT. Jigsaw, demystifying the issues.
Thank you so much for staying with us, people. Politics and power, as we take a look at Nigeria's security challenges and what the mitigating options available to the country is, and of course, to its people. My guests are all seated here. Of course, Alhaji Abdullahi Sani Shinkafi is very much here. Mahmoud Yusuf is with us here, Director, Operations Systems Consultant of Interpol NCB Abuja, and Res Banigo, who is a tech security enthusiast and specialist. Thank you, gentlemen, for finding time to join us. Alhaji, let's begin from here. The situation in Zamfara is becoming worrisome. In fact, in the last couple of days, we have heard of more kidnappings, more abductions, and of course, troops have also been very active in helping to rescue a number of these people. Well, many people had thought that this was abating, but it appears to be spiking. What exactly do you think is the motivating cause for all of this?
Well, the spark of armed banditry, kidnapping for ransom, and related criminal activities in Zamfara State has been in existence for the past 1 decade, almost 13 years, before the inception of the Odalawala administration. And the armed bandit groups have turned banditry and kidnapping for ransom as a criminal enterprise. And it has a lot of value chain. So in the recent time, the attacks in the rural community, in the local government headquarters, even escalated to some part of the state capital, where people have been adopted, some people are killed. In recent time, some local government area, in Zurmi local government, was attacked on the daylight. Police station was burned down, shops was burned down, people were killed, and a lot of people were externally and internally displaced by this criminal armed bandit. And they came back again and attacked even the palace of the emir, adopted some of his staff, burned down MTN Max, and go away with more than 600 people. In one camel, more than 600 people are in captivity with some of the palace staff. They called it the place, the camp, Nadus and Kura camp, that is black, sunny black camp. So these bandits have all their catchment area across the 14 local government. They control their territory, they give orders, they're in charge. Happily, I can say happily they're in charge of the governance in Zamfara State. So because of the proximity of the state with the Niger border, like where I come from in Shinkafi local government, we share boundary with Niger. And Zurmi local government share boundary with Niger. So the border is porous. There is smuggling of smaller and lighter arms. And there's proliferation of these smaller and lighter arms into the unauthorized persons. So there's the widespread of the banditry cannot be overemphasized in Zamfara State because of bad governance, porous border, corruption, judicial security system. Jambako was attacked. This community protection guard, 3 of them were killed. Faru was attacked and worried. About more than 97 people were adopted. And more than, I think, 43 people were killed. In Ngulbi villages, it's the same thing. In Bilbis, 17 people were killed on Thursday, and they did their funeral on Friday. And in Auranamoda, there's constant attack in 1 month, more than 20 times. In Safe town, I mean the local government headquarters, not the rural area. It has been migrated from rural area to the
urban centers.
To the urban centers. And in Safe, on the daylight, they wear hijab and enter into the market and start shooting indiscriminately, killing people. So military vehicles were burned down. This APC carrier vehicle across the state were burned down by these criminal elements. The security there are under stress, under motivated, underappreciated, under-equipped, understaffed. And on the part of the federal government and the state government, there is conspiracy of silence. There is no political will to tackle the issue of insecurity in the state. The governor is even out of the country. He just came back a few weeks ago with other his colleagues, 10 governors, who went to US for a meeting and came back. And again, he go back. So he's absent in the state also. It's one of the contributing factor for the widespread of the insecurity. Because Section 14, subsection B, clearly stated in the Nigerian Constitution, the primary responsibility of any responsible government is to provide security and welfare of its people. So the farmlands are being abandoned by large-scale and small-scale farmers. People are scared of going to their farms. The state economy is a stagnant point. People are in serious hunger, starvation. So these are the problems we have been facing, and the issue of troops being deployed. The governor visited Mr. President seeking for his intervention to deploy more troops. He made the Chief of Defense Staff to deploy more troops, but yet there's nothing to write home about. So what we are saying, the governors of the northern Nigeria, because Zamfara State is the hotbed, is the safe haven also for the bandit. When the federal government and the Zamfara State government were able to build a synergy to fight this crime and criminality in Zamfara State, I think the other northwestern state will have a relief. But the problem we are facing, the sister agencies itself, the police, the army, and other agencies are not working in synergy to curtail this situation.
We'll come back to that. Alhaji. You talked about this being a criminal enterprise and that it has a value chain.
Yes.
I'd like you to talk more about that value chain.
The value chain the banditry has. The banditry has some components. There is cattle rustling, which is involved, and there is kidnapping for ransom, and they are also, they will come to a village, attack shops, cut away their valuables, burn down their houses. So the value chain I'm trying to say, the cattle dealers are involved, hard drug sellers are involved, motorcycle sellers are involved, some technicians are involved. They will go to their hideout and install solar system for them. People who start SIM, logistics suppliers, people who supply food items, people who supply foods, some security agencies, corrupted security agencies, custom, immigration, because of the porous border, and the arms dealer, and some also corrupt traditional rulers. So there's a lot of things to...
It's so widespread.
It's a widespread. So people are involved, and that is why it is not easy to tackle it at this material time, but you have to apply two methodology, kinetic and non-kinetic approach.
We'll come to that methodology. Let me turn to Mr. Yusuf at this point in time. He has just described what I will call the dynamics of the security threats in Zamfara State. Yes. And it appears that this also exists in other parts of the country.
Yes.
First and foremost, as he said earlier, the primary issue of our political leaders is security for and welfare for the people. That's the constitution that he quoted. In the real sense, to be candid honest with you, our political leaders, since they are at the helm of the affairs, all these things are happening even before the inception, as he said 13 years ago or so, right from Buhari regime or before Buhari regime. But to be honest, it's not really good for me to say it on live, but the patriotism, we don't have really much patriotism. And the fear of God, these are the two key things that we have to imbibe before even any other thing.
Both as leaders and followers.
Yes, both as leaders and followers. Just, he mentioned our leaders went to United States for that UN meeting. I had one of the former governors, a colleague, he was mocking them. Exactly the former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido. Which is true. If you look at, you have problem here, a primary, and you are running to the United States. So, all these things will still be going round, around, if we are not ready to have this, the issue of this fear of God imbibed in us. I'm talking about the political leaders in particular, and the patriotism. I'm not excluding any person. Most of us, we don't have this patriotism. We are very unpatriotic in this our dear nation. Because if you look at a lot of things in a sane country, they are not supposed to be happening. To be candid honest with you. So, we really have to go back to the drawing board, recalibrate our thinking. And again, another thing, Mr. Imoni, we always keep telling ourselves lies. We always keep ourselves telling lies to ourselves, which is very, very wrong. What I meant here, all the meetings, all the workshops, both the participants and the attendees, they know that they are telling themselves lies. And we keep building things on lies. So how do we progress? It's not, let me give you a very little example. Since you mentioned Kogi State, those students that were abducted, the governor mentioned by himself that it's an inside job. The security cameras were in place and other things, but
they were disabled. Yes.
They were disabled. So definitely someone must be responsible. So another thing, this Zamfara matter is really very sad. Very, very sad. A former governor, now the Minister of State for Defense, he was the immediate past governor of Zamfara. So he knew all these things that are happening. And now he's the Minister of Defense. This, because of their political differences, they are supposed to have synergy. Just 2 or 3 days ago, the Commissioner of Information in Zamfara gave an announcement that the state government is not part of the security or the peace pact. So what Alaji was earlier saying, the synergy is not there. Let's be very, very realistic. Federal government is doing something.
Yes.
They're trying to do something, and state government came up and said, no, we are not part of it. So,
which means they were not consulted.
Exactly. So how are we going to be going our things this way?
Okay, Rex, let's address this issue of synergy in fighting the criminality, the insurgency, the banditry that is creeping into almost every state of Nigeria. The kidnapping, the abduction for ransom, and all of that. If there is no synergy between and among security agencies and between governments at different levels, how do we hope to resolve this issue? Or is it that this, like Alhaji has said, has become so entrenched as a criminal enterprise that even people in government are involved?
Yeah, when we begin to talk of synergy, that brings to mind the instance of this banditry, kidnapping, and all that. If you remember, it actually started in 1999. The issue of kidnapping, was I hearing of kidnapping from the year 1999 to 2000 from the Niger Delta region. Then it was just an issue of holding the foreigners hostage. The companies operating within the Niger Delta region, they take the white men for failure to perform their CSRO. They hold them hostage for not giving employment, hold them hostage, and ransoms were paid, and they released them. At that point, it now looks as if it was just the issue of the Niger Delta. But today, it's no longer just the issue of the Niger Delta. It's now a national issue. Is that a national issue? And in that same vein, I think the idea of 10 governors going to the United States and all that to have, it's actually out of it. If there has to be any synergy, it has to be the entire governors has to come together to say, I'm not sure there is any states in the country today that is completely safe, that can beat their chest to say they are completely safe. If it's not happening in the state capital, it's happening in the LGAs. A lot of people now cannot even go to their villages comfortably without hiring arms of security men. So we keep saying now that it is necessary for the governors to come together to say, let us have a workable roadmap on how to tackle insecurity. We understand one thing, that the genesis of insecurity is orchestrated by poverty, is orchestrated by illiteracy, is orchestrated by negligence that has metamorphosed into naturally breaking the law. So it is also time that, and these things, the governors are actually being looked upon. The politicians are looked upon to say, bail us out. We've gone past the stage where we say, okay, let us begin to apportion blame. Let us begin to apportion that this governor is not doing well, the other is not, or the other people brought in militants, brought in bandits. It has gone beyond that stage. What we should be looking at right now is we come together on a round table, let us have a roadmap to say that enough is enough. At the point it is right now, it must not spread further. And if it must not spread further, how do we start putting an end to this one by one? And if we must achieve that, it's not just what the governors will do. Now, one thing is believed for sure, that the governor is the chief security officer of the state. And also that the federal government, the presidency is the chief security officer nationwide. But we must understand that we as individuals, you are the chief security officer to yourself. If anything happens, they must ask you, if someone sees you today, because they have seen you, they no longer need to ask you, how are you? They'll ask, how is the family? Because they believe that as the head of the family, you're the chief security officer to your family. So we must begin to look at all these things and take full responsibility. Just like what happened in Kogi, they've already gone to the extent of installing CCTV cameras. That is a good one. But then, there has to be sites. There has to be sites. At the point the CCTV camera was turned off, somebody should know. There has to, if you install CCTV camera here, there has to be a multiple point, viewing point. The government house, if the governor is truly the chief security officer, I'm sure he has a team of security team. He has a security team. There should be a viewing point in the government house. The DSS should have a viewing point of all special areas, of all sensitive areas. It's not just going about installing cameras. Now, technology has gone so far that if I install camera in my house and you off my camera, even when I'm in the office, I will get an alarm on my phone. So when we get to talk about having a roadmap to tackle security, it's a serious matter. It's not something the governors would go to US. It's something they will sit down here, call all the governors in the 36 states, say, how do we solve the problem, including the FCT. We heard of what happened on Friday, when someone was murdered in Maitama. You understand? So
And over the weekend, there were also abductions in Paiko, the Niger, I mean, it's in a border town between FCT and Niger State. In fact, it's a very remote area of one of the area councils in Abuja. And the reports indicate that several people were abducted and still unaccounted for as we speak. So that's the situation. Now, Alhaji, when we talk about a roadmap for resolving this issue, it appears that we're limiting ourselves, from what Reza has said, to only just the federal and state governments. Should it not go beyond that?
No. It has to go beyond that. There should be a community engagement. And when you are looking up to the remedies for it, as he has earlier said, the trip engaged by the governors in the United States of America is a misplacement of priority. They have to stay at home here and look for homegrown solution. And when you are looking for homegrown solution, the federal government should be involved, state government and local government, and also the community engagement. There should be a community engagement. Because the activities of the informants and their logistics suppliers is one of the stumbling blocks in tackling this insecurity in all over the country. Because the bandit who is hiding in a forest doesn't know you, doesn't know me, doesn't know him. But he must have somebody in the town who will be trailing your movement, who even know your source of income. Let me give you an example. Just last week, a manager of Taj Bank was adopted in Zamfara State.
In Gusau, the state capital.
In Gusau, the state capital.
Yes.
The seat of the power. And the proximity of the military base, DSS, and the mobile base, road safety, community protection guards, is just few meters away from his house. And the bandits are shooting indiscriminately. Nobody come to his help. So you need a total community engagement, including local community. So what I'm trying to suggest here, there should be a total, as he said, there should be a total commitment on the part of the leaders. The northern state in particular, that it has been neglected by the first leaders. There was no so much investment in industrialization, in the education, in the fight against unemployment, and provision of basic infrastructures. Because this terrain where these bandits are not motorable. So you need an armored personal carrier vehicle, improved one, not this outdated one, improved APC personal carrier vehicle. And you need artificial intelligence devices to track down their hideout. So there's a lot of problem. If we stay here to be explaining, like what I have said earlier, you see, in 1 week, Sakajiki is one of the historical villages in Karanamo, the local government. Half of the village, or 2/3 of it, was burned down. Houses, mosques, what do you call it, silos, local silos, were burned down. People were killed. In Gora, in Bruni Magaji, on Thursday, 120 people were kidnapped in one community in Bruni Magaji local government. Women were adopted, children were adopted. They boggled 21 shops, cut away all their valuables, took away 11 11 motorcycles from the community. If you in Bilibisa, I said earlier, in Dangulbi, many places. In the, one week, in Magazu, one Zamai, Wari, Gideon Goga. It was only Gideon Goga and Malaka who were lucky. When they were pushed to the wall, they fell exhausted. They went to the bandit hideout and attacked them. Killed 24 bandits. Took away 9 motorcycles and took away 3 AK-47.
So the people are beginning to fight back.
Yes, they begin to fight back.
Self-help.
Self-help. So even the military now, let me tell you, we have to be sincere to ourselves. We have to be sincere to ourselves. Like the Minister of Defense for state and the governor, the immediate first governor of Zamfara State, they met in a one forum, which were in a one summit, where some northern, I think, youth conducted that workshop. Sultan of Sokoto was there. Former head of state, Abdulsalam Abubakar, was there. Emperor of the prominent Nigerians. They promised that they work together. Yet 2 of them are working independently.
At cross purposes with each other.
Yes.
So, Rex, we're talking about having to deploy technology, and Alhaji has talked about artificial intelligence. Some of these hard to reach communities and areas of the state where these bandits operate from. How do we go about that? How easy is it to acquire and deploy such technology?
Now, talking about technology is one thing, but the truth of the matter is the willingness. How willing are we? How willing is the executive that, yes, we want to nip this thing on the board and put an end to it? We don't need too much technology to track these people down. It is very easy to track calls. It is very easy. And these people make calls every day. So start by tracking their calls. I'm very sure that if they want to get them, they know how to get them. But I'm sure also the government is also trying to be careful so that we don't bomb and kill a lot of souls. You understand? But at the same time, that's why, in as much as we're talking about technology, we should also look at the area of laws that will put an end to this thing gradually. Because just like I said, it started from the Niger Delta. Now it's happening more in the north. There should be laws. The other time, I think the National Assembly now is pushing seriously. There's a law now for once you has to do with the law that has to do with drug trafficking, death penalty, capital punishment for drug trafficking. That same law should be implemented for kidnapping.
So some states have already implemented such laws, enacted and are implementing such laws.
So let us see them active. Let us see them executed. Once there is an action to that effect, it will gradually calm the situation. Then I'm talking about technology now. One is call tracking. You just track their calls. It's very easy. If it's difficult I'm very sure that the Nigerian security agencies, they have the technology. Not just tracking of calls. Again, another thing we must also look at is individual help. Individual help in the sense that you have a car. Do you have a car tracker installed in your car? You should have a car tracker. Whether you have money to buy 1,001 cars when they steal that car is not the solution. It's not just it. Have a tracker. Why do you want to have a tracker? Whoever that commits a crime that robs a car, it does not only, it's also linked to other multiple crimes. So once a criminal is apprehended and the car is recovered, the police goes extra mile to recover further information. You get to understand that these people that are into car robbery, they are also into kidnapping. So if they take out one, you're helping the society rid itself of criminals.
Okay. Mr. Yusuf, do you think that the enactment of laws will help in this direction? Because we have states that have enacted such laws prescribing capital punishment, and in spite of that, this is.
Yeah, you see, I will still repeating myself. I will repeat myself. You see, to be honest with you, all these things that we are talking about here regarding security. Security is the primary issue. That's the first thing for you. You must be alive before any other thing. And this banditry of a thing, it has metamorphosed into, it's just like life and death. Because if they take someone, he doesn't give them what they want, they ended up finishing. So the laws are there. But why don't we be applying it? In fact, not even, we shouldn't take all these things lightly. If it's even a mobile court, accomplice, informer, and the criminal himself. Once you have that, they should just let me not use this very hard language waste, but they should just kill somebody because they are killers as well. You see, Mr. Imoni, this, because everything that is from the leadership that will start. So let our political leaders show us they are really, really serious. And as Alaji is saying, we all know there is no synergy at all because of political differences. It doesn't make sense. Because politics will come and go. But people are taken, killed, are maimed. It's not right.
And some of these political leaders who are in power today will get out of power tomorrow, and they or their relatives will become victims.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the situation in Katsina, for instance. It started very small, but it has grown into a major enterprise in Katsina today. Hardly a day passes without one incident or the other being reported from Katsina State.
And I was just speaking with one of a friend, an Air Vice Marshal from the Nigerian Navy. He was telling me that, as he's saying, we have all the gadgets, we have everything. He was telling me that we have a Turkish drone that can fly for about, I think, 9 hours or so, or 10 hours. Before I came, there is a clip going around from one of the most wanted person, that is Bello Turji. He released a video yesterday that he's given information to his people that they shouldn't agree if there is an issue of peace pact. The Nigerian government is trying to track them and sending them drones. That's exactly what he's saying on the clip.
Yes.
They're using coordinates. So, you see, a stark illiterate like him knows even the kind of... So, I think as I will keep saying it, one of the most important things is our leaders, political leaders. Let them have that fear of God, and that's patriotism. That's the key. Once they are ready to do all the sacrifices. I don't want us to delve into other things, since we are talking about the issue related to security. But if you look at the wastage that we are doing and other things, it's not even supposed to be that way at all. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. Let us that fear of God and this patriotism. It's our country, in a sane country. Another example, please, Imoni. Just let me use United States as an example. Wherever you go, house, whether you are a public servant, whether you are a business person, whether you are even no one, that flag is there. It reminds you have that country at heart. Wherever you go, in your car, wherever, in your office, on your table. So let's be patriotic to this country, because our younger generation, they are looking at all this thing that is happening. What kind of breed are we going to live for the country?
So it's a question of doing for the country what you can, and not expecting everything that the country can do for you.
Exactly. That's it. Let's have that. Let's be patriotic, because that's one of the things that we are lacking. So our leaders now, I'm still pleading with them. Let them try and come together, no matter the differences. But the primary issue is security. Not a governor for him to be flying always he's in Abuja. Tomorrow he's in the U.S. Meet your people.
They govern from the air.
Governance. Let's be telling ourselves the truth.
Now, Alhaji, let's talk very quickly about the Peace Pact that is at issue right now. He brought it up. It's alleged that the federal government is offering a peace pact to the bandits in Zamfara State, which the state government appear not to be in tune with. Is that the right way to go, a peace pact?
You see, when, you know, driver has his own view, and the passenger has his own view. The passenger may be having some positive or negative influence on the driver driving on the steering. So, you see, whatever is in the darkness must come out to light. What is happening in Zamfara State is no longer a news, it's no longer a story, it's no longer a lies. It's a reality on the ground. So yesterday around 2 a.m., somebody called me from my community. I'm from Shinkapi precisely. And Shinkapi is where Bello Turji come from, in Pake, in Chida village. Nobody in Shinkapi, somebody like you, doesn't know Bello Turji. All these bandits are not foreigners. They are not strangers. They are not settlers. They are sons of the soil. More than 85% of them. So most of them are operating in their various community. So all of them have their catchment area. They have their territorial area where they command. Turji is from Shinkapi local government. Halilu Sububu is from Maradu local government. He's one of the notorious armed bandits. He's from Maradu local government. And many others. When you go to Zulmi, you have Goska, Dankarami, you have Auditor, that's Nchaki, you have Black, you have Standa. All are from that side. And they are holding that. You can't cross that place. When you go to Aranamoda, that's Ansade, it's from that place. When you go to Sape, you have Ado Aleru and his team. When you go to Guso Axis in Wanika, Aja, Lilo, Hegem Mahe, Mad Aziz, there is also Dogo Hamza, Dogo Auta, all of them, that is their catchment area.
So Zamfara is effectively a state that is controlled by bandits.
Let me tell you, the whole 14 local government is under siege and under control of armed bandits. And each able local government has the leader with his troops. Approximately Zamfara has more than 30,000 armed bandits with their barrels come cut across the state. So the peace accord is inevitable because you have to go in any warfare. You have to go into approach. That is kinetic and non-kinetic approach. In the kinetic approach, you apply total military action against criminal and criminal elements. Then on the non-kinetic approach, then you have to apply homegrown solution. You have to do community engagement. You have to bring traditional rulers. And even doing non-kinetic approach, it will also minimize the civilian casualties and also the military casualties. So the peace accord, the government and the federal government are on the different sheet. But the passengers, that is the people, the masses, are yearning and aspiration for the peace. Because let me tell you, I'm not here to castigate anybody, but I'm saying the truth. And I don't fear to be caught on camera saying the truth. because I have such responsibility as a human being and from my God to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. The military in Zamfara State cannot, and all the security agencies cannot fight this bandit. Stand still. Let me give you an instant. Kuriga school was the students were kidnapped.
In Kaduna State.
They were traced far back to El Sado, where Dogo Gede and many other their operates, Nagala or Fred there. There is no any report of casualties.
No. Up to today.
Even
no.
this kinetic approach they use, will they get these people safely back? So that is where we need non-kinetic approach. What Turji was saying, for you to know that he has an insiders, people working with him, because there was some securities, military officers. In my place, I'm from Shinkapi. Shinkapi, we pay ransom for the past 10 years. Shinkapi pay ransom more than anybody. So Shinkapi suffered banditry attack, loss of lives. We have highest numbers of widows, orphans in Shinkapi because Turji is one of the most notorious and heartless bandit leader. But because the way people were forced to war, this peace accord initiative was initiated for the first 11 months ago or 10 months ago. The state government rejected the peace accord, but the community in Shinkapi succumbed to the peace accord. And now Shinkapi is the most peaceful local government cut across the rural area in Zamfara State. No any report of kidnapping, killings, displacement of innocent people, burning down houses for the past 10 months. When you come to Koran Namoda, it's 56 kilometers to Shinkapi. It be 1 a.m., 2 a.m., any day from Koran Namoda. It's only from Koran Namoda because don't go there. It's only from Koran Namoda to Shinkapi is safe. So the issue of peace accord, we are calling on the state government to stop playing politics with the life of the people. Because the federal government, that is the Mr. President, is the C&C. The state governor is not the one who's in charge of this deployment of these troops. He visited chief of the defense staff. He visited NSA office. He visited Mr. President. Up to now, it has not changed the narratives. It has not changed the narratives.
Yeah, what surprises me, Rex, about all of this is that some of these notorious bandits, leaders, are known. If they are known by name, by face, by everything, how come
Their parents
we are unable to do anything about them and their organizations?
That is the most worrisome aspect. They are known, and yet nothing is done.
Their locations are even known.
Their locations are even known. So that's why when we say deploying technology and all that, they are known. They are not invisible. So what we should begin to look at is the federal government is profiling a peaceful approach. Then that has to stand, because for now that is the only solution to quell this crisis. Otherwise, if we say, just like Alhaji is saying, if we say let's tow the kinetic approach, thousands, hundreds and thousands of persons will go down. And how do we now bear that in our conscience? That in order to, and that is not just that. For me, I still keep saying that the solution is for the governors to come together and have a workable roadmap.
Mr. Yusuf, beyond patriotism, what can be done in the immediate and in the short term to arrest this situation?
Yeah, as the political leaders still, as the heads, maybe as he said earlier, that they need to come together. But they've been having meetings, Northwest governors, Northern governors, all those kinds. That's what I referred to myself back, that, we always sit down, tell ourselves lies, and walk away. And we cannot be building lies on ourselves. So whatever they are going to do, they have to be honest to themselves and to others as well. we have been engaging in some of their meetings. You know, from what you will be hearing, the outcome is just to come, take tea, and just leave.
And issue communiques
yes.
that are hardly ever implemented.
Yeah, achieved. So we need to. I was still mentioning our political leaders. They need to come together, be honest to each other, to themselves. How do we approach this menace and tackle it? As Alhaji said, if Zamfara is tackled, other states will even get relief because that's the hotbed on banditry in the country.
Particularly in the Northwest.
Particularly in the Northwest. You know, now another sad thing, look at the issue of this Kaduna people in Kajuru. They've been there for more than 1 month. Nobody is even talking about them anymore. The 87 people.
87, yes.
Almost 2 months now. Nobody is saying anything.
And those who were also kidnapped from IDP camps in Borno,
yes,
nobody is talking about them.
Nobody. So please, our political leaders, please, we still need to come at the short term, the non-kinetic, as we are all suggesting, then to start applying and see whether it's going to work. Because this, like what Bello Turji was saying in his clip yesterday, as Alhaji is saying, he has informers, definitely, because he's even mentioning coordinates. So coordinates will be given and they will use drones on them. So you could imagine, because almost 3 minutes clip. Someone that doesn't even go to school, how does he even know coordinates?
All right. Thank you so much, Mahmoud Yusuf, and gentlemen. Thank you for your time. I'm sure that those who have ears in the corridors of power are watching and are listening, and are, of course, maybe taking note of some of the solutions that we have preferred here now to mitigate the current situation. It is indeed a very disheartening one. Needless deaths that are happening on a daily basis, kidnappings, and a lot of monies that are circulating as ransom money all over the place, from the north to the south, to the west, and to the east. Is still the same. We have been inundated with stories of security men who have been killed in Enugu State, for instance, and some other parts of the southeast state. That is, again, another kettle of fish, which, of course, governments at every level, local, state, and federal government, must synergize to bring to bear on the situation in our country today. Mahmoud Yusuf is Director Operations, System Consultant of Interpol NCB Abuja. Thank you so much for your time. And, of course, we also had Alhaji Abdullah Isani Shinkafi, former chairman, prosecution of armed bandits in Zamfara State. Thank you so much, Alhaji, for finding time to call. And Mr. Res Banigo, a tech security enthusiast and specialist who has also joined us on the program. Thank you for your time. And to you, our viewers out there, we want to thank you for investing your time with us, and we hope that some lessons will be learned from this intercourse that we have had today. And we look forward to bringing you a fresh edition of the program People, Politics, and Power. Bye for now.